Say something quick, Joe.
Hello.
All right, you Gucci. But right. So in general, the events I don't think they're that great. Although there is Gmax Machamp Max Battle Day, so that'll be all right. You know,
Yeah,
after
the D get sent, bro. The Gmax ones.
oh yeah, after they basically made everyone build a Dynamax Machamp
Yeah,
to be
it's
able to
you.
do these Snorlax, which is a
You
good
just knew that was
segue.
gonna happen.
It's a good segue into the next segment. Snorlax, how did that go for you, Joe? How was Snorlax
Well,
Gigantamax
that's it
Battle
was
Day?
it was good. So I made my way down to Woolwich with Josh and the crew. Do we have to drink because of
Beep,
that?
beep,
Oh
beep, beep, beep,
no!
beep.
Fuck's sake!
Fuck's sake, family.
But no, I went to Woolwich because there was these big meetups. So it's nice to see nice to see everyone. We had a few people that I haven't seen for a while. Like Karim came down, Cody was there, so like a few of the boys I hadn't seen for a while. It was nice. We hit a good amount of raids. Like they were getting sent easier than I thought they would. I honestly thought they'd be tankier, but obviously everyone has their things. We had mushrooms, and even it was easy. So we probably did like 40 before we tapped out. Like I tapped out, like because it got to 5 o'clock, and I was just done. But
Because
obviously we got another two. We got another 2 hours of it, and Josh hadn't
that's
had
what I
his
was thinking.
shiny.
We weren't one of the affected regions, or were we? Because
No,
obviously
no, we.
we know Australia and New Zealand are always going to be the guinea pigs for these things, so they always get fucked over first.
I was under the impression that we weren't, but Josh was gassed because he hadn't had his shiny yet. So
Yeah.
he
Beep beep
carried
beep
on.
beep beep.
Me and Gengar left came Tom. We got Sam's chicken. We went and had a pint, and we were waiting for Josh. And then we did a few that spawned near his pub.
Yeah.
But like short mandem, so like we did him with 8 people, which was like easy.
Yeah. Yeah. There were quite a
So
few.
yeah, it was good.
There were quite a few time zones that had them until 7 p.m. So, but obviously a lot of people like doing 3 hours of these. It's enough really for the average
Yeah,
player. But when you're not the average player, then keep going in
the
it.
thing is, it would have been alright if the catch rate was not fucked. We need to talk about them catch circles, bro.
I
The
see.
catch
So the
circles.
night before, obviously, what I like to do with these is I don't tend to watch Fleece King. It's not a diss. No one take that the wrong way, and no one fucking clip it. Right? I watch it when I want to see like new events, debuts of stuff, see what spawn rates are saying for events, see what just see what the event's saying. And he's very good when it comes to that. So obviously the catch circle, I tuned in at the perfect time because he had the hundo on his screen, and he had he had free shock, which obviously is it free? No, ice burn. Ice burn's the one that slows down the circle, and
That's
it
nice burn,
yeah
yeah.
yeah. So he had ice burn on, and it just still fucked. It just wasn't helping. Like you couldn't do anything, and he was there like he had Donnies in the background saying, "Oh, do you want me to catch it for you?" He's just like, "Oh no, it's not that deep." Like, he basically said he would master ball it if push came to shove, which is
Yeah, I'm not
fair
gonna lie.
enough.
I ran from most of them. It was so infuriating to catch. I just ran from most of them because we were trying to mash them out like that. We were doing 6 or 7 every half an hour. So it's like I don't have the time to sit here and fuck about and catch this because I had the freeze burn thing on. I
Yeah,
was throwing like you couldn't get anything like great. Even great throws were hard to get, and it just
yeah,
wasn't catching. I'd throw one ball, and if it wasn't a decent one,
yeah, yeah.
I just was
There's no
like,
point doing
why do I care? Because I'm going to
the
miss
next
out
one.
on the raid, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'd rather get the rewards and do another one than
Mm,
sit here trying to catch this shitter because these are going to sit in my bag and do nothing. Like I'll just
yeah.
transfer them at the end of the day anyway.
Well, I just trade them to locals that want them to try and either re-roll and get a better one or the XL candy for those that don't have the X's. We done an embarrassing because people were just slow. I accepted that I weren't going to do a lot, and in my head I'm like, I don't actually need Snorlax for anything. But like you just said, I'm gonna say I just want the rewards. I want the stupid amount of XP you get and the stupid amount of Stardust, and then I want to upgrade that. I want to double it and pass it back to me. Like I want it
Yeah,
all.
the rewards are too good. It's sort of what makes it worth doing. Why we were like we want to do 6, 7. We might have even done 8 sometimes in half an hour.
Yeah, that's
Because
crazy work.
Mr. Ab was running a tight ship, bro. He was not fucking around. He was like,
Yeah,
just He was like, yeah, we do. The second you get this one, next one, next one, next one.
yeah, you got
Which,
to.
like, hats off to him and James. They ran a really good event. Like, I couldn't like that many people. There was a good. Must have started with 80 people because we had 2 sort of full lobbies. Like,
Yeah,
but 80, like, it was mental. Like, people were out, and there was people a good amount that stayed out for the whole like 3 hours. Obviously, you fall off into the bonus time and less people were involved. Like me, Dodie, Dodie told me like, bro, we need to go and get food. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. That chicken shop is calling my name. But there was a 3 hour solid grind. It was
Yeah.
like we had enough to split into two groups because that's what we had to split into two groups for most of it.
That's good, man. That's good. Like, for the first time, I think I see max lobbies for Gigantamax for us. But, like, what a lot of people's, what they were moaning, right? Because they were like, I said where the start point was. I was like, right, I'll get into town. I'll establish a route. I'll let everyone know ahead of time. I did that, but people were moaning because they had to walk a bit to go to the start route. And I'm like, well, fuck off and make your own route then. Because
somebody else can organise it. And that's the thing. I don't think people
it got to
appreciate.
The point. Oh, sorry, go on.
So I don't think people appreciate the effort that goes into organising these things. Even if, like, I know you, Luff is like not as big as Wooly, but you still have to organise these things. It doesn't matter if you have 80 people or like 8 people. It still takes the same amount of organisation to plan all this stuff out.
Even that aside, Broski, I'm not getting paid. I'm like acting like I'm a paid employee and I need to do better. I don't. I'm taking it upon myself because I feel like. See me, yeah. I feel like I'm the only one that can. Like, I'm the only one that will actually. Like, there was a group of we had over 40 people because I know there was some people that didn't get in the lobby. But I'm like, to be honest, I was like, those people were people we weren't expected to come anyway. So it was just like, there's nothing really we could have done.
That's pretty good for where you are. I think you're like the way I've seen the event. You seem to be getting a lot more people now up your way because I know you said a lot of people like to go to Leicester, but
yeah, that's the thing. Oh well, the thing is, like, more people probably playing Loughborough than Leicester. Probably make it sound worse than it is, just because it's funny as fucking Discord, isn't it?
You're like, like it's just complaining for the sake of complaining. No, I get what you mean.
No, literally earlier when I was speaking to Eva, we'll get on to like NT and all the stuff. I was like, I'm going to do NT and meeting up with people. She was like, are you still beefing? I'm like, shut up, beefing. No one, right? Clip it. I ain't got no beef with no one. I'm amicable and on good terms. Everyone. I'm not a hater, right? People might hate me.
Stop the cat.
Stop.
No, I'm joking. Yeah,
but
bro.
Generally speaking, it's improved, but it will take a while to get Loughborough into sort of state where like I'd personally be happy with it. But it's one of them. Like maybe I even need to lower my expectations, or you just fucking like it or lump it. But I want more people just getting out and playing because in the long run, that's obviously the whole point of the game and the whole community aspect and getting people out playing. But me myself, I want to achieve my own personal things, but then sometimes I always have to compromise a bit. Everyone should compromise a little bit, but then some people I had to tell them to re-lobby. These people they were jumping into the next one straight away, and I'm like, re-lobby, people are still catching.
Yeah.
Listen, even on a normal Gmax day, if the catch rate was all right, people were still it might not have been an issue, but the fact that Snorlax, and it was the first one, and people wanted to catch it and may have only been doing 2, 3, or even 4, it was so difficult to catch. You can't just be jumping in the next. You need to listen. People don't listen.
People don't listen. That is the biggest thing. But I think to me, because obviously I run with Matt. We run some of the stuff a bit locally if I don't go into London, and the things you think you take for granted and stuff like that is people just know. You literally have to spoon feed these people everything
and spell it
or
out.
It doesn't work.
Write it on your forehead.
And it goes back to that thing of it's like when these London community ambassadors. I take my hat off to them because to constantly do that is it's tiring. Not tiring, or it's tiring. It's tiring enough organising all these things because it's a thankless task because you don't get any you don't get anything out of it outside of I was going to play the game anyway, but I'm just organising this so other people can have these opportunities. Because I understand that people don't grind or aren't as tapped into the game as we are, so they don't know all of these things. So I'm happy to help people like that. But when you're at these events, you're trying to run these things, and people don't listen to you spell it out for them in black and white. We post big things in camera, and they don't listen. It makes it hard, and I think.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to that thing of sometimes you have to, like you said, you have to lower your expectations.
Yeah.
I think you expect when you expect people to, you just have to expect that people know nothing, and that will be that's your baseline. Because if you think anything more than that, you're just getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to go too far the other way and just assume people know nothing, and then talk to them like they're a fucking numpty. But like I said, I think you hit the nail on the head with the whole campfire, putting all information in there, infographics, right, recommended strategies, counters, correct fast moves, not pressing the charge move because it's quicker to charge up, knowing when to guard, heal. Your stuff needs to be at least level 40. We're not asking you to max out stuff that's what's the word I'm looking for? Like suboptimal. Like a lot of people, I know locals that won't max out D maxes and G maxes unless they're hundos, and I'm like, well, you need to be doing more then in general. Like, if you're aiming for a hundo and you've not got one, you need to do more.
Go and get your hundo, because like I know me and you are in the same boat. Just the same is we just build these things because we know they'll get the job done. Like my champs weren't that good. I've maxed out I made a Blissey level 50 because I got a 98. But I build these things and I power it up, and I'm happy to, because like that's the sort of what's going to be the cat, like what's going to carry the people through. I think now you shouldn't be seeing any of this wooloo, any of this swabble stuff, because you've been given so many opportunities to get these things. Even if level 40 is great, even if you can't get to level 40 and you power it up a bit and you put a few moves into it, it's better than throwing out this wooloo. Because especially, we'll get onto the Entes, obviously, because the Dynamax ones are a whole different kettle of fish. The Gmax ones, you can if it's a big group, you can sort of forgive it. If there's someone there, say a kid, for example, who don't play the game that much, or they don't really know, it's fine if they have these things. But people that, like, you see active on Campfire, you should be able to read, like, we tell you what to do. Just do it.
The thing is, like, it don't even hurt to at least make it a double. Like, evolving your stuff, it does more. Like, the order in which, so this is what we're trying to say in the Campfire, the priority in terms of how you spend your resources, i.e. candy, Stardust, XL candy, if need be, right? You evolve something, you power it up, like, to at least level 40, and then you start putting, what's its face on it? Fucking, like, the max moves or whatever it is they're called. Like, it's not difficult. We're not asking everyone to have, like, the perfect counters. You don't fucking need it. But, like, yeah, man, it's one of them ones where I see people with, like, wooloos and stuff, and I know their accounts are, like, new and stuff, and like you said, you can understand it, but then there are people that are, like, you know, just deliberately not listening, you know, wrong fast moves, wrong, like, suboptimal stuff. It's like, it's the same with, like, raids. It's like, you know, we expect there's some sort of expectation. Like, people need to understand that, you know, you're coming to an in-person event and there are other people there as well at the same time as you.
Like, people want to do their things. Like,
their time is valuable. Like, their time is very valuable. And you know, like my time, like, so I usually work after an event. 3 hours. I don't want to be doing the same amount I could do in an hour. Otherwise, I'd just come out for an hour. Or is that me being selfish? Like, I don't know. Like, you know, tell me. Like, someone tell me if I am, because I'm just in my head. I'm gonna think I'm right because that's the sort of person I am.
So I know we don't read chat numbers, but Dodie made a good point. Like, people don't, like, they check in on the Campfire, but they don't, like, the live location.
Yeah,
like, it's quite easy to follow along. Like, oh, where is this? It just goes back to, I think, if people need to read. Maybe we sound like artists because this is our bread and butter. But like, there's literally a thing in place now.
What, reading? That's what everyone got taught to read at school, man.
Yeah, very good.
Or at least by their parents or someone, man.
Yeah, it's not what you should be able to read. Like, you know what I mean. Actually, that's a good fit. We can talk about Tom almost getting folded by a random child.
What, me or other Tom?
No, not you.
I was going to say,
not you.
I'm not going to lie. When he said it, I was looking over at chat and I'm like, which child folded me? But anyway, speaking of Crocodile, he did redeem a shot earlier, so I'm going to go and try and get the utensils and see what I've got for that. If you want to enlighten the audience, on Tom
I haven't got a shot. I can just. Oh yeah, all right. All right. So basically, this was before the Woolwich meet up. We were waiting outside the station, and obviously people are coming. People were meeting and stuff. So I was standing there with the boys, and a little kid comes up to other Tom, and he asked him, "Do you want to battle in PvP?" So he's like, "Yeah, sure." He has no idea who he is. Obviously, the Gengar Life, good battler, good friend of the channel, or I'd say. He's like, "Yeah, no problem." He sends him an Ultra League battle, and I think that's Tom's favourite league. So they're battling, and Tom's just like laughing. He picks to use his Ultra League Venomoth, and they have a battle, and he almost gets RPS'd. It's so funny. Like, he leads Malamar into Fury Cutter Genesect.
Wait, So who's
He's like,
who's the random child? Like,
someone in Woolwich. I don't know, like some kid who was obviously there for the Snorlax battles. He was
right.
there with his mum had taken him out to do some Snorlax battles. So they were like, "Oh yeah, let's have a battle." He's like, "I'm really good at PvP." So Tom was, "Oh yeah, all right, we can play." So Tom uses Malamar, Venomoth, and some other Pokemon. This guy he leads Malamar into Genesect, which is funny because obviously Malamar's like a safe lead for say, like it can hit most
Yeah, but
things.
then Genesect bums it. 'Cause it's double
Furica,
weak. It's like
Furica, it's
double
got
weak to
Furica,
dark.
yeah,
Yeah, double weak to
yeah,
bug. Sorry.
yes, the one in the Charizard onesie.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so yeah, he was in a Charizard onesie. They're battling. He switches to his Ultra League Venomoth that he just built, which are like Giga Chad move. In comes a Darmanitan, and we're all standing here like, oh shit, he's about to get RPS by this kid. We thought he was gonna have Incinerate. Nah, it didn't have Incinerate, bro. We had Quick Attack or Tackle, whatever this Darmanitan gets. He flipped switch, bro, and he had Feraligatr, yeah. But Tom was sweating when he saw the fire type on the bug type. He was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get fully RPS'd." He was
Bruh.
sweating, and then he cooked him up. He was like, "Oh, we could have played in Master League, but my best Pokemon is like a level 40 Charizard or something."
Is that what the kid said?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can't believe I lost. I'm usually pretty good at PvP."
That's jokes. Man's like, I can't believe I like probably don't know who Tom is. Like, respectfully,
No, exactly. Like he's like nobody. He's like, yeah,
bro
he
hasn't
doesn't know.
bro hasn't
Does,
made it. Man's not
he
Woolwich
doesn't know.
famous. He's not known in the ends.
He's not known in Willis, bro. He keeps it to Essex, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, of all the people, it's like the fucking
Yeah, he asked for world qualifier Gengar Life
pussy old
to have a
Tom.
battle.
Anyway,
I think next time Quack should battle him. That'd be a battle of the ages, bro.
I agree. But I thought you said Battle of the Asians. That's the same.
No,
What
battle of
the
the
hell?
ages. The battle of the Asians is Quack and Vince on the pool table, bro.
That's just listen. That's just Vince getting folded like, in more ways than one.
Yeah, that's Vince lying in the Alien Castle coffers.
Fucking yeah, man. Josh's wallet be fucking bussing. His pockets be fat with all Vincey Wincy's notes.
Yeah, He's bought that new till for the pub from Vince's money.
I'm telling you, man. He's keeping that business.
He's keeping a pub open. He's paid for Josh's trip to Japan.
Funny.
Vince is bankrolling him.
That was jokes. So overall, like Snorlax was good. Yeah, got a fair few.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the catch rate aside, it's a fun event. A good amount of people can. As I said, some of the PvP boys that I haven't seen for a while came out, so it's nice to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave it. I was surprised how long they stuck around for. They gave it a good grind, considering they're usually just phone tappers.
Mm-hmm.
No, they did well.
I mean, you're tapping a lot with the Gmax battles as well, too.
Yeah,
and there's a bit of strategy. You got to know when to like catch a move, as in like if you stay with your tank, or some people don't like staying in with a tank. They'll go and then they'll try and catch the move on the tank. Like what I mean. Some people are techie with it, but then you've got your locals. Then you got your locals with Wooloos, and they got the Wooloos and that. But that's what I was going to say earlier. There were people with Wooloos, and then one of our locals was getting pissed off. It's like, why am I seeing fucking Wooloos? And then what was funny? I was like, who's using the Charizard on my team? Not the Charizard, the Charmander. And then it was just like, oh shit, it was me. I forgot to heal. I was like, you fucking bozo.
Yeah. People need to focus on themselves, bro.
That's the worst part for us. Like, not even the correct counters. People got shit. Like, people decent. They just don't heal, and they're stupid. Like, when the level 50 players are not healing and locking in, it's like, we're in we're in the mud.
Yeah, your damages. We learned new moves with Cody as well. He taught us about a move called AQ. We don't know what he was talking about, but he just was like, AQ. AQ. He just kept saying, yeah, I caught an AQ on something. And we were like, what are you talking about?
Bro, what's that? Arsequake? Like,
I don't know. I think he was...
What's that? He was so fat. That's an Arsequake.
He was meant to be talking about Aquatail, but he was like, yeah, I caught an AQ. I don't know what we were talking about. He put in a good shift, to be fair, as well, Cody. Shout him out.
A man said AQ. Man's talking like Uzumaki. The IQ.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he's catching the IQ.
What a fucking bozo. The Hedro. Right. Yeah, but Snorlax was alright.
Snorlax was good, yeah.
I'm more excited for Machamp, to be honest, because I'm like, you know, in my head, I'm still understanding what I'm doing. I know people will be doing it around here, and it's good that people know they can do it around here. I'm all for that, but like, I need to make an executive decision with myself and be like, I need quantity and quality. I need like both.
man.
I need both. I can't just have like, you know, everyone getting there 3-4 happy go lucky. And the thing with us is, I was trying to do a consistent route, but people wanted to claim the particles from the other one.
Yeah.
So then I had to fucking go off route and be like, right, instead of turning right, we're turning left and going this one. And everyone was like, what? Why are we going that way? It was like, because getting particles.
You need the yeah. It's like it feels like you're taking people on a school trip.
Yeah, when here get good, here never.
Josh was stressing. He was like he'd had enough.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. To be fair, I can imagine.
You can imagine the rage on him, right?
But to be fair, like you said earlier, it's not like he's not getting fucking paid for it. It's like, you know, he's taking the time out. So obviously he's doing the event himself. So obviously it's not like he wouldn't be doing the event otherwise. But you know, he's taking the time out and taking the honest to plan a route. You know, the most optimal route, and
yeah,
you know, with a lot of bodies, like, you know, like you can't knock it. Like people that volunteer and take the time out to do things for other people, selfless acts as they were, like you can't complain really. Like this is what I said to someone. I was like, if people got an issue with like the route or just anything, I was like, can fuck off. It's the same as at work. I'm like, people, if like no one's making you come here, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. There's no obligation for you to be here. I am under no obligation to help you whatsoever. I'm not your mum. I'm not your dad, parent, guardian, creep you. I ain't none of that, right? You. And it's just, and the worst part of life, bro. Sorry, we'll get off this segment in a bit. But
that's good,
it's
bro.
parents, right? There's a lot of pushchairs. A lot of kids, and right, a lot of kids. Pause. But then the thing is, they're moaning because they can't like. They're like, oh, we can't afford to get our kids more max particles, and it's like, okay, right, we're not gonna bankroll you, so we're not gonna fucking pay for your kids.
Like, what do you want me to do about that?
Yeah,
you've had your free. You get given the free stuff. They give you more free particles to the event.
Yeah,
if you can't play more, go home.
Play as many as you can. But the logic is, like, what people don't understand is, right, if I want to do, let's say 30 in 3 hours, 10 an hour, modest work, right? And you're planning on doing 5. You don't need to do the first 5 that we do, i.e., we shouldn't have to wait for you to do them 5 if you're going to catch up with us and you've only got a set amount. Like, but this is what people are failing to comprehend. It's like,
yeah,
you know,
they don't have they don't have the lateral thinking to think, oh, I can do 5 whenever. I need to be there at the start. Like, if you're there for the grind, be there for the start.
Where some people have premium items on, and like you said, want to do the whole event, want to grind the whole event as it be, right? But the thing is, I do get it to some degree because people want to do the first 5 and then they want to go about the rest of their day, maybe go home, do something else. But like, sorry, like, so your time's important, but mine isn't. I want to grind the whole event for 3 hours and then rush off to work, but I only do an hour's worth in 3 hours because, you know, you take your time, or, you know, you're only doing a set amount and stuff. And this is why I even said to, like, you guys, I'm like, how the fuck do you get your locals to spend more money? Like, legit, like...
You can't. I think, and that's the thing, you can't. As frustrating as it is, if you wish you could, you can't. Because, like, at the end of the day, it's pixels on a screen.
Yeah, it's me being stupid and selfish. I know it is.
Yeah.
It's like...
Things are expensive anyway. So if you ain't got the funds to... Like, I think Pokemon Go is that should be low on your list of things to be invested in. So it's hard, but you wish people would spend more.
Yeah,
but you can't.
You wish. The only thing is, I don't even care about people spending more. It's more the case of, I just wish people would, if they're planning on doing the event, that they would like RSVP so we know what the numbers are saying, and it would also, another thing that one of my locals likes to bring up a lot. It's interesting to see. Like, obviously, you get 40 people RSVP. Like, respond to an event, right? You know you're not getting 40 the whole time. I just want to know how many are doing an hour, how many are doing 2 hours, how many are doing 3 hours, how many are one and done, how many are joining halfway through. But there's like, it's never going to be as simple as...
Never that simple, no.
Nah, it ain't. If it were that simple, it'd be a piece of piss and we wouldn't even be talking about it to the sort of extent that we have done. But people just don't listen, and... only think for themselves. So like, I literally had a woman. When I was like, right, re-lobby, did it, and she was just there mouthing. She didn't say it, but I could. She didn't say it out loud or exclaim it, but I could see what she was saying. She was just like,
Yeah.
"Why?" And I'm like to someone else. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but if she want to keep talking shit, I'm a 2 footer pushchair. Like,
It's like
I
run
don't
your
care.
mouth more.
I don't care. Like, if you wanna fucking do them in your group and jump in the next lobby and all that, I'm like, that's fine. Nothing is stopping you. Just like, and if you come here, you're doing it with the group. Do it with the group. Don't be selfish. Like, too many
Yeah,
people are
like if you're there
selfish.
for the group grind, you have to move with the group because especially these bigger Gmax things,
Yeah,
you need the group. You need the group to do it because I know we said we did it with 8 people, but that was 8 people that are hardcore grinders rather than
we managed to
the
do
like the
that.
average. Talk about the average player. It's like you're
Yeah.
not. I don't expect everyone to be able to go. Oh, I can do 8. I can do it with 8 people, but
There were videos of people doing it before, but like that's what often confused a lot of my locals. They see videos of people short manning it and think, "Oh yeah, 8 people's calm." We failed with 8 towards the end. We did one with 8, but it was a different 8, i.e., there was a stronger account in the 8. They went, and then we managed to find someone that was like, "Oh, you're doing," and that made me happy to an extent because there are people walking around like, "Oh, you're doing Snorlax," and it was like, "Yeah," like, "Oh yeah, can I join you?" It's like, "Yes." Like in our head, we're there like desperate, like, "Yes, bro, we actually need you. It's bad," but like in our head, we were just like, "Yes, obviously you can join us."
yeah, of
Like,
course, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
jump in, man. And there were people that I know from outside of Pokemon Go that were playing, and I'm like, "Shit, didn't realize you play." And they were like, "Yeah, we knew you play," and I'm like, "Fucking hell, I must play this game too much." Like, I had people that come into the pub and stuff like. It was around the time of Raikou. They were like, "Oh, were you playing Pokemon Go the other day?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And like, "Oh, we see you like leading them all round like B&M and Home Bargains." And I was just like, yeah, like I was just showing people where the next
Yeah, like
whatever
yeah, I'm
does.
just
Yeah,
I'm just showing people where the deals are, bro.
yeah, man. I was shopping up Home Bargains, but yeah. In general, Gigantamax, obviously, it could do with a bit of a rework. Some of my locals thought you could remote it the last weekend as
Yeah,
well,
I feel like there was
because it was data
missing.
mined. Yeah,
It gets data mined, and people just think, oh, it's in the game now. But I don't even know if they'll let you do that. I think I'd be surprised, honestly, because I think,
I don't want them to, and that could be a hot take, but I don't want them. I don't. I would hate for remote Gmax. That's a hot take for
yeah,
me.
because like I said at the start, like it's when you have these big GMAX events, it's nice to see people you haven't seen for a while. Like a lot of the why I enjoyed the day was because
Yeah,
I was there chatting with people I hadn't seen for a while, like Cody and Karim and Tom, like people I
must be
hadn't
nice.
seen for a while. It's nice to spend the what do you call it, like Quack and that. It's nice to spend the day with them because they're my friends and I hadn't seen them for a while. So that's more of the thing. So if you go back to that thing of remoting it, oh brilliant! I can sit in my room and I can just sit here and tap on my phone and not have
Yeah,
to speak to anyone. It's good for you to go outside and speak to people and get some fresh air and stuff. It's good for you. It's called Pokemon Go. Go
yeah.
outside, bro. Have some
Pokemon go
grass.
outside, not Pokemon.
Yeah,
Not
quite
Pokemon.
hold that, bro.
Yeah, not Pokemon go lie down on the couch and just tap tap. But yeah, that must be nice. I think it's the opposite in Loughborough. Like Gmax brings out all the Donnies you just don't want to see. Like they crawl out the woodwork. It's like, ooh, Gmax, because they know they can't do it on their own. It's not like raids. You can kind of short man raids. They've been around long enough. People have got enough raid counters. Can short man anything really.
Raiden, that's a whole other conversation about it. I think Raiden is just dead now. It's so boring. Like you can two man
Yeah,
anything. Even these Cresselias that you remember you thinking in the past. You're like fucking hell. We need 4 or 5 accounts to get them Cresselias gone. I
yeah,
duoed it with my party power. It's
yeah.
just like Raiden is just, like it's so that is something that is just dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not as incentivized anymore, and they're trying to incentivize it with like rare candy XL chance if you do an in-person raid in comparison to a remote raid. So they're literally trying to get you out raiding rather than if you raid remotely you can get it. Like they're trying to incentivize using your green passes. So that I'm all for that. Like, I'm not gonna argue with rare candy XL. It's a good resource. If you're someone that wants to build mythicals and just in general. But yeah, I think with raiding, it's a weird one because the last raid day was like sparring partners and it wasn't great.
Oh my god! Like it's one of the worst events
So
I've ever seen. I was so bored.
I wasn't due to work, But then I ended up working because I'm like, someone was like, oh, do you want to cover my shift? Like 1:45 till 7:45. I was like, yes. I'd rather work for 6 hours and then go on my break and then remote the gym that I needed to remote, do like a couple mega heracrosses, gold that gym, done. That's my raid day. Didn't care. And then
Literally, all we did was hit the Heracross.
Kangaskhan, I'm going to do
Who
the
the fuck
same.
is raiding? Who's raiding Hariyama? Who the fuck is going, yeah, I'm gonna spend 10 raid passes on fucking Hariyama, bro.
It's because it got
And Scraggy.
It got upper hand, didn't it? So obviously you'll get people that are like, you know, fucking deep diving it, and they're just like, oh yeah, upper hand. It's like, you know, that wins me some, you know, that makes Hariyama and Heracross better for Ultra League and all this and that. Like, they tried to give it a move. The raid day did not bang, basically.
But you can TM it, can't you? And I see like someone said, "Oh, I wanted those rare XLs." You can get the rare XLs by doing the Heracross. That was the only one that was worth doing. If you're spending raid passes for rare candy on a Scraggy, give your head a wobble. Give your head a wobble.
Heracross, right? Obviously gives you a regional, which you know ain't spawning in the UK. So Heracross, if it was just Mega Heracross raid deck, I would have been fine with it, right? But they tried to make it something different and it flopped. So Heracross is a regional. Right, you get mega energy for it if you need it. Like you said, the rare candy XL, you get that as well.
You get TMs,
more XP because it's a mega raid. Like the list goes on. Why the fuck are you gonna spend a pass, like you said, on a bastard Scraggy when you could do a mega Heracross? I was gonna say a mega Bloodclot Heracross.
where we do our raids, we do it in a park. So like there's 6 like gyms or whatever in a loop. And on these raid days, we usually like to do this loop. But they were all Hariyama and Scraggy. We were having to walk to next man locations to get these Heracross. And I was like, they were for half an hour. They were all Scraggy and Hariyama. I was like, guys, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to go to the cafe and I'm going to get a coffee and an ice cream because I'm not feeling these raids.
Yeah, if I'm going to spend money on the money I'll spend on raid pass is getting sent on gelato and coffee.
Like, yeah, literally, I'm gonna go and get a twister and a double espresso, bro. That's much better.
I ain't had a twister in years, man. I was half tempted.
Oh, mate, neither did I. That's why I got one. I was like, there's a twister. That's nostalgia.
I was half tempted to get one. Like, I see it like at one of the things in Milan. Like when instead, I was like, I'll get a beer instead. Like I was like, I'm pretty sure I pointed to the twister and she handed me a beer. I don't know how that happened. Like,
the
language barrier. Hey, come on.
Twister, beer, same thing. Yeah. But
Jeepers Christ.
Literally, oh god, that was don't remind me of that day. Like Mega Kangaskhan Day, I actually would like to have done because I missed the first one. Yeah. But I'm on a flight, bro. I'm gonna be on the plane to America, so I'll have to try and get someone when we land.
When do you go?
Literally the day of Mega Kangaskhan.
Oh, so that's May
the 5th? No, hold on, the 3rd.
It's May the 3rd, yeah. Because I deliberately, right? I had it when I say booked off. I was unavailable for it, right? But in my head, I'm like, there's entertainment on in the evening and there's like a charity football match during the day, so like I'm not playing because I knew I would have to work. I was so upset because I wanted to play because I'm like, you know what, I wanted to get into, you know, play a bit of footy. I was like,
the ball out, man.
Well, we were kicking ball in the kitchen earlier. It was so dead at work, and then like I was just doing kick ups in the kitchen, and then like doing a few, and they were like, "Oh, you play?" And I'm like, "Well, I used to." I'm like, you know, I see all these men now, like a few guys I work with, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I used to sprint the 100 meters," and it's like, listen, I used to. I was like, listen, your boy used to run county track. Now he's on the I Boozy podcast with Bitterroll. Like,
I used to run. What do you call it? I used to run track. In like what 1980 you used to run track, brother. It's 2025. You're not that guy anymore.
Yeah, it's like people always. You can't win today's race. No pun intended. With yesterday's fucking awards, man. It's like, listen, the guy you were years ago, that probably ain't you now. So like, I want to hear less.
You're not him.
Nah,
you're not him anymore.
But
bro.
To be honest, I didn't want to jump back into 11 aside anyway. If I start kicking ball again, I have to go like Power League or like goals.
We get Ibu's U team going, bro.
Mate, it's like small-sided football's fat friendly, innit? So I can there like if you got feet, you're fine. If you got tech, you're fine.
Surely, me and you can run the midfield, bro. I can run the midfield on a 5-a-side pitch. If you want me to run on a 11-a-side pitch, bro, I'll be goalkeeper.
The position I played was left back. I was thinking, and everyone was like, "Oh, left back in the changing room." Fucking pussy, I was. But yeah, that was not too fair. But yeah, in general, I was like, I remember where I was going with this now. I was like, I wanted to, there was good entertainment on in the evening, so I wanted to be there for that. And I'm like, right, at this point, when I had to make a decision because the rotor was getting published, I can change it now. But I don't know when the announcement's coming. If it's a good raid day, I'll take remotes / take the L and then just move on with my life. I ain't gonna lose fucking a wink sleep over it. And if it's bad, you know, big play from me. And it was Mega Kangaskhan, and I'm like, okay, it's a regional, could do with XLs for it. Realistically, don't play Battle Frontier anymore. Mega Master League, every time they bring it back, they take it out of the rotation because they haven't fixed the glitch yet, which is stupid. And Defo cost me Legend last season. I was ready to cook with some Mega Gary team and they fucked it for me, but that's another story. So yeah, like I was like, I don't really care. So that's 2 raid days that are coming up / ones I've just done that I don't plan on doing. So like you said, like raiding is slowly, you know, for me maybe going down in priorities. But I say that like when it comes to GoFest, all this like lack of raid days I've done, like it will just be there and it will just I'll just do like I'll just do fucking everything. Yeah, it was crazy.
We'll make up for the shit ones by like 5 a.m. raiding again, bro. We'll be there.
We'll be there. Like we need to do something to make up for that. Like, we have to make up for that
because we're staying near each other in Paris, right?
Wait, so I'm staying. So me and Eva are staying at the Hotel F1 Stade de France, like near.
Yeah, me and Dodie are near there. Like we can we can link up for some raids at that, bro.
Link up.
I don't know if Dodie's gonna be getting up that early, but I'll be there.
Yeah, to be fair, like when it was when I went down to Woolwich for Kingler and then like Dodie just rocked up afterwards and I thought everyone was giving him the guard of honor. Everyone was like, because Dodie was there on time. That's jokes. It's alright, Dodie. I'm with you. I'm with it. But yeah, right. Dynamax Entei. What's the play? Are you I'm assuming you don't need to go anywhere else for it really with Dynamax. There's only lobbies of 4.
We're doing it. We're running a local thing in Wickford. We are doing it. We're sort of cramming it all into one event. So obviously we have Vanilla Community Day. Who's excited for that?
I actually am, to be fair. You know, Avalanche.
I'll
just see it. Avalanche is with
we get Mr. Avalanche. We get Mr. Avalanche as a move.
Yeah.
We get Mr. Avalanche as a move. So we're gonna do Vanilla Community Day. We're gonna do the Dynamax Entei battles, and we're also gonna get like 40 mossy lures down so we can farm them apple.
I was gonna say
you get 3 hours of the lures. I've got so many lures from what do you call it?
Is that during the Community Day?
Yeah, because they last for 3 hours in CD.
But will it run up? Like if I put it down at 4:59, will it go till 7:59?
That's a good point. I guess I don't know. I've never tried it. We always just stick them down at 2 because.
Anyone watching live now on twitch.tv/ThomasYoung1997 or listening back and sees it on the. We'll probably, Community Days in a couple of days, so scratch that.
Yeah.
Anyone listening now, let us know if the laws
confirmation. We've had confirmation from Paulie Paul #1. He says yes. So get them lures down.
Get it down, and then Alexa, play Charlie XCX Apple, and then
Apple. Yeah, but we're getting them apples. I don't care about the vanillas. We did the same when they released that Rockety thing. We put metal lures everywhere because what was that Community Day? Something dead.
I'm trying to remember because was I in Leicester Foot? No, I wasn't.
Oh, it might have been. No, it wouldn't have been. Was it Tottenham? No, it wasn't because I didn't even play that one. It was so dead.
Tottenham, I didn't either. Like,
no, it was. It wasn't Tottenham. It was. Oh my god.
Some shit.
What other dead one?
Some shit. Syndicate? No.
Some dead one.
Nah, some crap Community Day or Classic.
Oh, it was Routes. It was Routes Community Day Classic.
Oh yeah, god.
Nobody cares about that. So we lured up the whole park with the magnetic lures, and the spawn rate on Rookedy was sick because you were either getting a Routes or a Rookedy. So
I thought you said you were getting. I thought you said you were getting aroused. You were getting aroused.
Oh, I get aroused at the park.
You're getting aroused, or you're getting a rookie D.
yeah, exactly. But no, that's the plan. We're gonna mossy lure it up. We want to do 90 minutes of Entei battles because I don't know how many people are going to turn up, and obviously people aren't always going to want to.
Entei's kind of shit anyway. Like, think about it. You've got Gmax Charizard. You're going to have, like, better fire types coming out. You've got better fire types now. Like, probably, I don't know. I'm not checking the statistics. But you've got, like, Cinderace. You've got like all the other one. Like you're not gonna need DMAX Entei. Like it's never gonna
Thing
be a
is,
top tier fire counter.
it's just a cool shiny. Like I'd
Yeah,
be happy with a shiny. I don't care about getting a good one. Like if I get a good one, cool. I guess I'll invest in it because I have it.
because you
But
have it. But the rewards,
it's
you're
like
not going like you're not going
even
ham
the
for the rewards. No, the
yeah,
rewards are
even
kind
the
of mid.
Dynamax awards aren't that great. Like we'll do it because like people we facilitate people doing it, and me and Matt have a thing where we group the people up and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So no, that's fair enough. Like, I know there are some meetups going on. I didn't plan on hosting anything, and owner of the campfire didn't want to host anything because last time we did Raikou, it was a bit like meh. Because like we ended up with these like with people going around doing it, and then these kids, right? We ended up going to lobby to 4. These kids couldn't do it, but their parents had already done it. So I made sure the lobby I was in was able to do it, and then I jumped out and helped the
Yeah,
kids because I was like I accepted that I weren't gonna do a lot. I didn't get as much XL candy as I wanted. Got 298s, a couple shinies, so I weren't too fussed. Um, but yeah, I
I
think
mean,
Entei, I don't
I'm
think
not
I'm
that
gonna do
bothered.
it. I'm not gonna do a great deal. Yeah,
I'll just do it to chill. Like I won't. I'm not going to spend crazy money on it. I'll probably just
nah,
do my free ones. Like
I don't
I
plan
think
on
the
buying
plan is
coins.
we'll extend it into the free ones. Because what's the point otherwise? Like as you said, we have Gmax Charizard if you want a fire type attacker. Even DMAX Darmanitan's better, and people have had the chance to get that for
A while,
quite a
yeah,
long time, and that one's been much easier to do
yeah.
than an Entei. Only thing is, it's just like people are like, oh, why can't I have 40 people in this Entei lobby? I'm like, bro, these are
Yeah,
DMAX DAOs, not
they're
Gmax.
not that hard. But it makes, to be fair, like you said, it's early. It's a different kettle of fish. Like the 4-man lobbies make you have to think more, and there's a bit more strategy
Yeah,
involved.
you're definitely doing the shield first and then do damage. Whereas in Gmax, I was just like Blissey, and then we'll switch to damage.
Yeah, I
It's
built a
just,
12,
it's not
15.
much different.
I built a 12, 15, 15 Blissey because I'm like, it ain't an attacker, it's a tank. It's got 15 HP,
Yeah,
15 defense, and I'm like, it's good enough for me. Like, and
they're doing what you call it.
I could
Yeah,
slap it in a gym so it serves
yeah.
a higher purpose.
The Blessies are doing bits, bro. Honestly, in Snorlax, it was just walling everything because I see people using like Excadrill and stuff as tanks. But if the Snorlax had Earthquake, you were getting cooked.
Did it have like? Because obviously Snorlax has access to superpower as well, so it's got like
Yeah, yeah.
superpower. If it was body slam, happy days. But like I see,
Or outrage. Yeah,
yeah, because some people were using like not Excadrill, but they were using Metagross as tanks as well. So it would tank all the resisted normal and dragon moves, but then like the
if it's got Earthquake, it's not looking good, bro.
nah, it's not. But then and it resists a Skull Bash as well, so that's all right. But Skull Bash one's fucked everything else though.
Yeah, we were.
Horrendous.
I just had Blissey sitting there taking damage. Swatched him a champ for damage. It was easy, bro.
Easy, easy
Business.
money.
We stood on business.
Easy ones. But yeah. Say, in terms of May, there's a few events that, are quite good. Debuts for stuff. King Gambit, Gmax Machamp, Rookidee and Dynamax, Sableye Dynamax. But other than that, pretty bog standard. It's a rehash.
There's Shadow Days, isn't there? Like, but the thing is, they're all events again that require you to spend money. Like, there's nothing really there.
You know
That
what's
it's just like, oh, I can do that for free.
jokes? You mentioned the Shadow Days, and then in the Twitch live chat, we get Mr. Shadow himself, Jamie Finn Pogo. Welcome in.
Summoned him. Welcome in.
Say Shadow 3 times, he shall appear. But yeah, generally speaking, so I've got people telling me, right, that the Shadow Raid, they like, oh, it's definitely going to be Dialga. And it's like, first of all, you stupid. Because they think because we've had Palkia in rotation, they're like, oh, are we going to get Dialga in it? I'm like, no, you will get Dialga in Giovanni Takeover rotation first. That's how it works, right? We're going to get something that we've had before, which means that, they like to follow trends.
I did Ho-Oh, so I'm thinking it'll be Luke. I think it'll be Lugia.
It's
Lugia.
100%. And then one of my logos told me, oh, no. We had Lugia Raid Day. I'm like, no. First of all, that wasn't a Lugia Raid Day. That was also a Rocket Takeover. And it was a raid weekend. And it was in raids. Sort of similar to how, like, they've put Shadow... It's Register at the minute, but how they put the Shadow Regirock in raids. Like, so it's just there on the weekends. That's all it was. It's
not the same as a raid. Yeah, it wasn't the same as a raid.
There was no bonuses. It wasn't 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. local time. Like, Lugia will be tough. Like, I'm kind of dreading it if it is Lugia because,
Yeah, they require a big man accounts, bro, because it's just fat.
You need people that are like, on it, like, and I've got like
be
the fucking
fair,
crystals, and necrozmas are a thing now. So I guess if people have those, we're sort of halfway there.
I'd be gassed if it was Lugia though, because I have a Shadow Hundo that needs maxing. So
You
like,
do, to be fair, yeah. You
we
do.
take that, but they'll do this silly thing where they let people remote into it again, and then it goes back to that thing of they can't decide where they lie on
Yeah.
this
So they did that.
remote thing.
They did that with Ho-Oh.
Ho-Oh,
I
yeah, they
think
let you remote into
They
Ho-Oh.
realized it was such a grab. Like, I only did a couple of them anywhere around China, because it was around the time of Birmingham regionals, and then that was when Uzumaki lost his phone, and then I had to ring the
You were
Johnny on my phone.
preoccupied though.
Yeah. We had to wait at the fucking
The spot. You had to wait at the spot.
accommodation. We had to wait for my man to pull up and go, and he was coming from Wigston, so we had to wait for him to pull up. I went,
That's actually long.
gave him the peas, apologised, and then he was on his way. But like, I only did a couple around Chinatown because I was able to glitch into them because I see people doing them. And then Ayubi, the only one that was actually meant to go to the centre, got the Shadow Hundo. The little fuck. The little bastard. But anyway, yeah, they are very sort of as and when it comes to what you can remote in terms of the shadows and
So
everything.
silly.
But like Ho's a piece of piss in comparison. Like rock counters. Oh, it's just fucking slapping it, man.
You just got Lugia's always been a tough boss anyway, just because it has pure health.
Lugia's weak to like. So obviously Lugia's just a pure it's a psychic and flying. Yeah, I was gonna say like it was double weak to, because in my head I always see Lugia as a dragon because it has dragon tail, but I know it ain't.
Yeah, no.
So it would be nice if it was double weak, but yeah. So obviously you've got ghost, dark, fucking electric, ice.
It's all sync rock.
There's one more, and there's two more.
Dark.
Yeah, but then bug. Yeah, but then bug will take.
No, it's bug's neutral because of flying, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's weak to a lot of stuff, but it's just fucking tanky, man. Like, you just need stuff that's gonna resist all the sky attacks, all the aeroblast if it does end up throwing. Like, you just need stuff that's gonna resist everything.
To be fair, if it's the same as when they do Ho and they let you TM to aeroblast, that'd be sick because it means I haven't got ETM my fucking Shadow Hundo.
Yeah. But, like, don't get me wrong, people will have majority of the counters you need. It'll just be a ball ache, like...
It'll still just take time. It's like Cresselia, easy to duo. It just takes time. And people, like, they don't have the patience for it. Like someone said in chat, it's like people will be jumping in and out because they think, oh, we ain't got enough people. And then you think, oh, we've got 4 people, we can do it. And then they hop out and you're like, actually, no, we can't.
Yeah, but to be fair, you can do it. Like, so normal Lugia, I'll be able to, like, free man with a couple of locals around here. This was fucking years ago, though. Long time ago. Could probably still do it with them now. So, like, it's like I said earlier, when people are seeing short man videos on YouTube for the Gmax, legendary raids, mega raids, and think they can do it, it's like, yes, but you need to, understand that they have the optimal counters, leveled up, correct move sets. You can't just think, 3 people can do it. That means any 3. It don't work like that. It's literally like there's mechanics. It's maths. And you can, a lot of people failed maths at school. And that shows because, you can't just think like 3 fresh accounts are going to be able to do the same as 3 like level 50. It don't work like that. Like, people are just generally so dumb. And they think it's, as simple as, I've seen 3 people do it on YouTube. Me, my dog, and my fucking... granddad's granddad can fucking do it. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, if it is Lugia, obviously I'll still do it. If it is Dialga, which I don't think it will be, but apparently my locals think it's going to be Dialga. It's fucking not.
People saying it's going to be Mewtwo as well. I'm like, are you smoking?
Mate, people even
put
shit? They even put the meet up as like, Shadow Dialga raid day, and it's like it's not going to be.
Oh my!
I keep explaining to you, it ain't going to be that.
If you haven't got the official recommendation, then don't do it. Like, don't put the thing out because you're just going to confuse more people.
Yeah, people will be like, or you'll get loads of people sign up and then it will drop off because it'll be like, it's not Dialga, I don't want it. So you'll just turn people off, or turn people away. Sorry, and put people off.
They'll be like, I thought it was going to be a Dialga and there's a Lugia sitting there. You're like, what?
It's funny looking Dialga, isn't it? Flies and it's white, but yeah, right. Enough Pokemon. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk footy.
Yeah, before that, I'm going to use the loo, so entertain the people.
There we
Yeah,
go.
this is serious talk. So I need to get ready.
Man's doing a pre-game shit.
Yeah, I'm going for a pre-game piss. I'll be back in a sec. Entertain the people.
That's jokes, but yeah, guys. So like, if it is Shadow Dialga, obviously I'll be gassed. I don't think it will be. I don't know where people that are saying it will be Shadow Dialga are fucking, I don't know where they were fucking born or, what planet they came from, but it ain't going to be Shadow Dialga. I'm just putting that out there. But, yeah, let's talk footy. Let's talk footy, mate. So, obviously, as you know, Joe is a Spurs fan. Shit, we know what we think of Spurs. I wish I could do the redemption now, but we fucking mute it for the purpose of the podcast. I'm an Arsenal fan. Can't tell. Shock. So, yeah. We are in a European semi-final. They are also in a European semi-final, but they're very different. Very, very different. We are second in the league, and when Liverpool get their 1 point they need, they'll win the league, and then we'll be, that's it. It's over. But I've heard, I'll wait for Joe to come back. Right, I'll wait for Joe to come back. So, Joe.
We're going to lose 12-0 just so Liverpool can win the league, bro. It'll happen.
Well, I hope you do. But what I'm hearing is that Liverpool are going to throw against Spurs completely so they can hammer Chelsea so Arsenal give them the guard of honour at Anfield. It's what I'm hearing.
Haven't you got to give them a guard of honour when they win the league anyway?
No, the guard of honour is the next game, no?
I think they've got to do it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but the first guard of honour, innit? Like, that's peak, man. We're the first ones. That's a violation.
That'd be jokes, man. Look, you've had your chance. You've had your chance.
I was going to say, Liverpool are going to play the kids. And I don't mean the under-21s or the under-19s. You're going to see a little kid with an afro, 10, like it's Mo Salah's actual kid.
Yeah, like, mate, they've been to Teddy's and got some of the piss heads to play on the pitch.
Yeah, they've got actual Utes playing, like fucking shinnies, mate. They're gonna get Steve Bracknell as their assistant manager. Like Arne Slot's gonna take a seat, and then Steve Bracknell's gonna be there with fucking Bob on touchline.
We're running a best of enemies kind of thing. Look, we got the badges in.
Yeah, we're like the breast of enemies.
But like I feel like for both of us, like obviously we're in very different league table positions, but we're sort of done with the league. We're done with the league now. Like I don't know about you. I'm checked out on the league result. Like I don't care. Like I don't care about the league. Obviously, I watch it because that's my team.
Yeah.
But like I'm numb to the league results because we've had such a down season. Like in the league, I'm sort of numb to it. And I think it might have been harder for you at points because you were close to.
Always close. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride of us.
Yeah,
the thing is, like the start of this season, I was optimistic because everyone was like, right, it's us and City again. City fell off. It was evident early, and it was like, right, come on, we need to like capitalise. And then Liverpool, all Liverpool did was fucking change their manager. Didn't really sign any players, and then it's working.
They look so good.
And then it went from new manager bounce to like, okay, yeah, these lot are contenders.
Mate, they just pump everyone. They have quality. I think I sort of didn't really like take a note of Liverpool for a bit. But like the quality and they have in their team, and Salah's persistently been good. Yeah. You have players like Gravenberch, like that's a FIFA goat, bro. When I was like banging FIFA out of uni when he used to play in the Eredivisie,
Gravenberch.
I remember that. Then, mate, their team from the back from the goalkeeper to up front, they have mad players. Squad depth is crazy. They've just pumped everyone in the league. They kind of have thrown in Europe and stuff, but
yeah. But the thing is,
if they win the league, you're going to win the league. If you're going to win the league, it's a good season.
They fumbled Carabao Cup against Newcastle, but I think if they win the league, they ain't going to care about Carabao Cup.
I don't think they'll lose sleep over the Carabao Cup if they win another league title, bro. Honestly,
no, definitely not. But
are we going Europe? Because I feel like the league is sort of irrelevant for both of us.
I was going to say, like, generally speaking, right. So at Christmas, I felt like I knew what way the league was going, top to bottom. I was like, Liverpool could win the league, Southampton, Ipswich, and then at the time it was one of Wolves or Leicester I thought were going down. It was pretty evident who the fucking stragglers were and who was running away with it. And Liverpool were running away with it for a bit. Like,
them teams that got relegated are stinky, bro. Southampton, stinky.
are they still
Like
on like
they
less points
they
than the
are
season
they're
Derby
on
went down?
11 points or something. We were looking at work today. 11 points is crazy, and you think actually they have some players in there that on the surface you wouldn't think are bad, but like they've gone through these managers, they've gone through these players. They just look woeful,
So 11
and they
points is
know
what.
that
Go on, sorry.
they're bad because like we went to the St Mary's and went 5-0 up in the first half, and I think that's a
Yeah.
good indicator in the league. Is if you are stinking the league out, is if we can go there and run that free flowing
Yeah,
football.
that high line for life, mate. But fucking hell. Like, in general, the worst season in Premier League history, for context, was Derby County in 07-08, 11 points. And that's what Southampton are on now. I hope that they finish higher than that. Like, as in, they get more points than
What?
that.
Right, let's look. Let's pull up Southampton's fixtures.
I think they've got Leicester. Oh, they've got
Southampton.
Leicester at some point, which is fine. It don't mean nothing now. They're both just, two
Right,
championship
so
teams.
they've got they've got Fulham, Leicester, Man City. They've got
I thought it was
Fulham,
Leicester.
Leicester, Man City, Everton, and then they're playing Arsenal. So like Fulham, I'd say they'd lose that. Fulham have looked quite good today.
At least we end the season with a
But not
win.
today. They've got this season. They've on the whole, and Marco Silva's done some good stuff with them.
Yeah.
That
Fulham are good.
you'd back Fulham to beat Southampton. Leicester, I think, will beat Southampton. I'm not going to lie. It's like a mid-off, really, isn't it? That's
It
got
is.
like 1-1 written all. That's got 1-1 written all over
Their
it.
team's not playing for anything. That's what I was saying. It's like so many teams are just on the beach now. Like, fucking Tottenham. The only thing with Tottenham and Man United, usually to make sure you don't get caught by for Man United, it's
We'll get onto
all them
we'll
below.
get
But
onto Europe.
make
Let's do
sure.
let's
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like you need to make sure that fucking West Ham don't catch you. Like, because if you man finish
I don't
17th,
care.
17th, and you have to look. We're talking about the stinky teams at the bottom. 17th.
17th, and we win the Europa League. Cinema.
That's horror. Because Leicester done a similar thing, but then they won they were runners up in the Conference League, and then West Ham are having this stinky season after winning the Conference League. It's like, mate, Conference League is fucking arse.
If
Man.
we finish 17th and win the Europa League, that'll be cinema. But we'll get on to Europe. Let's finish the old relegation talk, and we can get on to the European endeavours.
Jamie Vardy's leaving Leicester after 13 years.
Yeah. Where's he? That's got what do you call it? Wrexham written all over it. He's going to go to Wrexham, play score 2 goals and play 20 games, and that'll be that.
Did you see what what his sort of statement was? I don't know if we called it a statement, but what he said on Twitter about him leaving and the season as a whole. Did you see it?
It's at a glance, I didn't read the whole thing. The season was it like the season was shit? Sorry, guys.
So he said, it's got a video above it as well that's got fucking 8.4 million impressions. It's crazy. So he put, what did he put? At this point, I don't even know what to say. No words I have can ever express my feelings of anger and sadness with the way the season has gone. There are no excuses. Collectively, as players and as a club, we failed. There is simply no hiding, and I refuse to entertain any suggestion of doing so. Having been at this club for so long, we've experienced so many highs and successes, and this season has been nothing but miserable, and for me personally, a total embarrassment. It hurts, and I know you're feeling it too. To the fans, I'm sorry. Sorry we haven't performed, and sorry we end the 2025 season with such a shit show. And for him, he's been there 13 years. You have to think of when Leicester won the league, the players they had, Riyad Mahrez, N'Golo Kante, the ballers they had that have moved on, right? Vardy's stayed with them when they went down, came back up. He's been there with so many different managers. And I think a Leicester fan was telling me at work the other day, Ruud was speaking to him for a good half an hour and stuff, trying to convince him to stay, but he's made up his mind. And I think Leicester fans are more upset, not that Vardy's going, because Vardy's sort of at the back end of his career now anyway. I think they're more upset that fucking Van Nistelrooy is staying as manager.
Did you see when they got relegated? The guy, the social media team, they tweeted out today's result confirms our place in the championship. It's not like we've got relegated. It's like making it sound like a good thing. It confirms our place in the championship, bro. You've been relegated.
That's one way of wording it. No, because the last time Jamie Vardy don't really tweet a lot. So like he tweeted about I think someone in the Leicester coaching staff passed away, and then before that it was who's ready for an after party. Jamie Vardy signs for another year, so like he signed for another year. So I think his contract's
And then
running down anyway. Now he's gone.
and then he
Yeah,
announces he's gone. Yeah.
man.
To be fair, he's up there in like memorable Premier League strikers. He had his what do you call it, 13 goals in a real like he's one of them streets won't forget players. Do you know what I mean?
The
You
thing
think
is,
you have them conversations with your mates at the pub. You think of like street won't forget ballers. You can add him to that list of people. Like you're talking about Michu and them man, and you can add Jamie Vardy to that list.
I disagree. I think he's clear. Like he's done so much for Leicester. Like won them the league, right? Champions League quarterfinals not long afterwards. FA Cup win. And that's just the first three I could think of. But like generally speaking, like and obviously he had a decent England campaign, but like he was a good striker. And then obviously I think he realised that he wasn't going to get an England set up when you got man like Harry Kane on job and other young gunners coming through like fucking, you had like Saka playing quite well, Rashford, like at the time, like you weren't going to get in the team. So I think that's probably why Ivan Toney went to fucking Saudi. To be honest, he realised he weren't.
I still can't get my head around that, and I'm still like, I know he keeps saying we're going to. I'm still surprised Arsenal didn't try and sign him. That's like that would have solved a lot of your problems, bro.
Who did we try and sign? We tried to sign. So we wanted Ollie Watkins, but then they sold their other striker to El Nasser. So they sold Duran or whatever to El Nasser, and they weren't obviously going to get rid of two strikers in the same window. And Ollie Watkins in the media was like, "It's my dream to play for Arsenal. This, and that." It's like, listen, like this ain't. Come to us then if you want to play for us.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have the summer to sort that out, bro. You can't faff about till January.
Oh no, but that's the reason we lost the league. Like, we just didn't sign anyone. And to be honest, there are so many strikers that we think of, like Gyökeres. Chelsea are linked with like quite a few at the minute. They're linked with like
Chelsea are linked with anyone, and they're irrelevant in this conversation.
They're trying
these
to get
guys will get a check out for anyone.
They're trying to get like Liam Delap, who just got relegated. Well, obviously a decent player, but just got relegated.
He's a good player.
So they're trying to get a few different strikers.
What does that mean for like? They have so many strikers. Like they have all these attackers. Like you think of Nkunku, Mudryk. What are they doing with all of these, bro? Yeah. And somehow you managed to get the stinkiest out of all of them. You got Raheem Sterling.
We got him on loan, to be fair. That was a fucking scam. But anyway, generally speaking, like there are so many strikers that are good that I think would change us. But like it's hard because you have to spend big money on them. So it was like when there was talks of Osimhen, and for us it's just hard when we see, for instance, not that I've particularly wanted Dominic Solanke, but it's hard when you see Spurs spend money. Dominic, like it's still like. They're still like making transfers.
I think if you signed someone, or maybe not Solanke, but if you signed someone with like Solanke, like a striker, that you would have had the league would be so much closer to being yours because you watch Arsenal and from the back, like even if from a Spurs fan, and we can get onto the Real. I think we can get onto the Real Madrid game in a bit. Like we talk about European endeavours, but you play them off the park. You have this system, and you have this. There's just that piece missing, like Marino, whatever. He's doing it like he's not a striker. He's doing okay up, like he's doing all right for some Donny that's midfielder playing up front, and he's get. But if you had an out and out striker like Solanke,
the thing is,
you'd piss the league because you have the players like Saka.
It's hard because I don't know if we would, because it would improve us and it would be an option. I think for us, we need something because we spread the goals out quite well. We need someone that when it's not working, that's going to drag a game by the scruff of the neck and that is just going to get you a goal. Someone like Harry Kane. Harry Kane's like a fucking bagsman, goal merchant. Like doing the same at Bayern Munich. It don't matter where Harry Kane. He's one of them. We need one of them. It doesn't matter what he's one of them.
He's one of them that's a once in a generation that you're not just going to be able to buy one of them. Like, I need someone like Kane. There's only one of them.
There's a few at the minute that you could say are in the same sort of category. Haaland.
I don't think anyone. Haaland can't lace Harry Kane's boots, bro.
But for Arsenal, generally speaking, like in that sort of category, I prefer Kane to Haaland. I've always said that if Kane was in that Man City team,
they would have won it. Like would have been,
would have been done and dusted at Christmas. It would have been a joke. But like there are strikers out there, but it's obviously we need to be willing to fork up the cash, and 9 times out of 10 we ain't. And
it's really weird because you spend money on other big money on other players,
yeah,
like 100 mil on Declan Rice.
I take that's money well spent, mate.
I think well, I say the jury's out on whether it was good money or not, but
the free kicks, though. The free kicks.
Right, yeah, right. To be fair, I'll give you that. I don't know if that's 100 million, but that's paying like half of his. That's half of his cost is written off. I give you that.
It's the whip, man. He's there. Like,
I feel like this is a good way to segue into European talk rather than the old Premier League. Nobody cares about the Premier League. Let's be real.
Just to round it off, if I had to like pick I would pick Isak, but Newcastle would never sell him. I would love it.
They wouldn't sell him, though.
One of my friends that I played table tennis with, last game of the season, we had, we were talking about on the way back, he's a Newcastle fan, so I've not seen you since, like, you know, for a while, like, you know, obviously Carabao Cup, we were just talking footy as we do, and then I'm just like, I need to see Isak in a red shirt, and he's just like, fuck off. I'm like, but then at the same time, he was like, he would be so good at Arsenal.
But who else can you sign? Like, I think someone in chat made a good point. What other strikers are there for you to sign? I think it's such a...
If we win the Champions League, we must have some pool next season for people to be like, I'm trying to
get
be
out
there.
of here. You're not winning. Have you seen the PSG team you've got to play, bro?
Yeah, the same PSG team we packed in the group stage.
Yeah, but I feel like they've locked in. They've been on a evolution arc, and they just look.
Mate.
Let's go on to Europe. Let's talk about. Should we do Champions League first? I feel like you want because I've got good things to say about Arsenal. I never thought I'd say that, but
right. Let's start with the other competition. Let's start with Europa League.
You want to go Europa League first? All right.
Start conference if you want, but
the Conference League is a joke. If Chelsea don't win that competition, they should liquidate the club. If Chelsea don't win the Conference League, bro, they're going to Legia Warsaw. They've got Polish plumbers at centre back, bro.
Chelsea are playing like Dynamo Kebab and like fucking
like literally. Do you see that where they went to that stadium that had a fucking train around the outside of it, bro? If they don't win that competition,
Chelsea are getting a Flixbuster games. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Literally, the Conference League is like literally just what is the point in that? Like when we go to football, we listen to TalkSport on the way. Or on the way back, someone's like, "What is the point in the Conference League?" Like, I get that it's meant to like give other clubs a chance in Europe,
course, yeah.
But when you have teams like Chelsea in it, what is the point? There's a £1 billion squad there, just turning everyone over.
They've won the Champions League twice in their history. It's like,
what is the point? Genuinely, what is the point?
Funny,
but if we're going Europa League, how far back do you want to go?
As far back as you're willing. So, like, generally speaking,
let's go to the knockout. Let's go to the knockout stage because I think. It's been very up and down with the knockout stage. If I go to the round of 16 where we had AZ Alkmaar. So that's a team that we beat in the group stage.
Yeah.
Like, we 1-0, we sort of played... This was when we had quite a lot of players injured, so we had a few... Like, it was a 1-0 deserved win. We played them off the park.
Yeah.
And then we in the round of 16, we go to... I don't know what the stadium's called. The AZ Stadium.
Yeah.
And we're 1-0 down. I'm like, fuck, like, I've had this all season with Tottenham. I'm so checked out from, I'm just checked out. Like, we're league shit. We're losing to AZ. The season is over. But obviously, the mug I always get reeled back in, and I go there for the second leg. Mate, we turn AZ over. They're not a bad team. I'm not saying they're like world beaters, but they're not a bad team.
They're a decent team, and they've always been decent in Europe.
The thing with the Europa League. Is like there's not like the world's best team, but there's not loads of bad teams in.
You have to think about it. I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. With the new Champions League and like Europa League format, did the teams that didn't qualify for the playoffs of the Champions League / the knockout stage of the Champions League, did they go down to Europa?
No.
You see,
I used
to fucking hate that. Because it's just like when we were in Europa League, we were good, and then Atletico come down, and then we're not good.
And
so it's like, bullshit, man.
That's another reason why we are high up in the odds to like win it because you don't have these big man teams dropping down. Because like teams that got knocked out in the Champions League, they're not always bad teams. You just have a bad few games. Like
Yeah.
it's quite the group stage is quite a brutal format. You have 1-2 bad results, and even if you're a good team,
Mate, that's
you get sent
that's
down.
like Liverpool like having a bad couple games, and it's like, right, you're going to Fleetwood Town next. Like, you're not going to you're not going to Brentford. You're going to Fleetwood Town. Like, you know, you got to play your way back up. Stupid.
But AZ, no, I think we won. I think we won 3-1. So that was good. Like this was when we started to have players come back. So like, starts to reel me in again. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting hooked in. And I'm like, always, it's such an up and down roller coaster. Like you're so invested. I say this to someone at work. You get invested in things that are so silly. Like you let football in rent free in your head for nothing,
and it impacts your mood.
Like, it impacts your mood. Like you have a shit. Yeah, we lose that AZ game, and I go into work on Friday, and I'm just fucking fuming because I remember they did the draw, and we drew out AZ. I was gassed because I was like, oh, we had these guys on ice in the group stage. This should be a walk in the park. I don't know why I ever assumed that as a Spurs fan, but it was fine. AZ, we navigate, and we drew Frankfurt, which I think was like one of, if not the best team left in the tournament outside of like
Eintracht Frankfurt, a decent team. They're very decent.
They've always had a presence in Europe, and we haven't like the last time we played was in the Champions League a few years ago, and it was like a ridiculous game. Yeah. But when we were in Milan, I was talking to Max because it turns out he's a Frankfurt boy, so I was like, oh, this is gonna be a tough game, bro. He was loving it. And the first leg was at home, so I went. Mate, the German fans were something different. They were like pressing the police and stuff. It took us ages to get in the stadium because they were pressing the police. They shuttled because we walked through a school to get into the stadium, so you don't have to walk all the way down the Tottenham High Road because that is fucking long.
Yeah, fuck that.
Mate, they're shutting all these gates. They're like, we can't let you out. There's too many German fans. They are aggressive, and I will give them that. I think the atmosphere that I've seen from the Frankfurt fans is the best sort of atmosphere I've seen.
You won't get
from
that.
Anyone.
You won't get that from a
Premier. In Europe, you won't get that in England. You won't get that in England. Not at all.
Even if Arsenal came to, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and it's a North London derby, big game. The atmosphere is not. It's like European nights are something else.
Man. Yeah, the European fans are something different. The European nights are something different. The European fans are diehard, and I will. And it always impressed me. Like we had Marseille come when we were in the Champions League. It's the same thing. That the European fans are just different. It's like they call them the ultras. Bro, it was something different. But we go 1-0 down in like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, fuck it out. I went with my cousin. He was like, we're out of the tournament. I was like, bro, you've got to believe. We get a scrappy 1-1 draw at home, which like it is a decent result, but we've got to go to Frankfurt.
Yeah. They
haven't lost at home for ages and ages and ages. I'm shitting myself. I don't know if you see the highlights of the highlight. There wasn't many highlights for the Spurs game.
No, just
but like the keeper, did you see the keeper doing this MMA tackle on Madison?
Yeah, and then obviously there's
he takes him out.
And then Solanke's pen. That's
good.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
That was a good pen. That was a good penalty. I was gassed. That's the bit. But that before I know it was only a 1-0 win, but that is the best performance I've seen them put out in a long time, and it sort of made me feel like
it's just a confident
we're back.
It's a confident European performance that makes you forget about how bad the season has been.
I think when you're looking around, you go to the stadium, you think of that atmosphere I was describing that it was electric in the away end, the home things. People were throwing things at players and stuff like that. It was a proper hardened earned win, and I was like, "Fucking hell, we are back." Yeah. Obviously, we lose again to Nottingham Forest, and I was gassed. And we've got Bodo Glint in the next round, and that makes me nervous because who the fuck are Bodo Glint?
Have you seen their ground,
mate? Their ground looks mad.
But it's like I don't know about this time of year, but when it's like snowing there as well, mate, it looks like a fucking.
It's a plastic pitch, and they haven't lost. They beat Lazio 2-0 at home. That's a class result. Lazio are a good team. They were I thought they were one of the favourites to win the whole Europa League.
Yeah.
It's mental. I was like, fucking hell. But we've got them at home first, so I think we have to put them on ice at home because that's a really tough away game.
Yeah.
And I was saying to someone at work today, they haven't just miraculously fallen into the Europa League semi-final. No. They're a good team. They don't have any big names, but I've sort of done a bit of reading about it, and their manager has this sort of. He's a renowned he's a really good manager by what sort of reading I've done. So we can't underestimate it at all. But this is our best opportunity to have sort of win anything for a long time.
Yeah, I have a question. Right, if you somehow make it through to the final. Sorry, got to throw them in where I can. If you somehow make it through to the final over 2 legs, would you rather face Manchester United or Bilbao?
I'd rather face Athletic Bilbao
Yeah?
because we've had Man United on ice 3 times this
You
season,
reckon
and there's a
they're,
few
they're going to turn up?
there's a few Man United fans at work, and I'm like I'd rather play Bilbao because I think Bilbao are the better team on balance this season.
So why would you play
But
them if they're the better
we
team? Oh, you can
we
explain
because
that, yeah.
we've beat Man United 3 times this season, and you just know the fourth time when it matters they'll turn up. I just have visions of it. I'd rather play Bilbao, and that's really really weird to say because this final is in the Bilbao Stadium, so they'd have like
I'd rather you play
home and
Bilbao because I'm like if Man United and Tottenham both get into the final, for me it feels like a lose-lose. You know, I ain't gonna forget about it regardless of whoever wins. So I'm like, I wouldn't say I want to go as far as if both English teams got knocked out, I will piss myself. That'd be pretty funny. But like,
if we lose to Bodo Glimt, bro, I'm actually like gonna crash. I will crash out hard.
if
You won't
Bodo,
hear from
because
me
if
for a few
Bodo,
days.
no, you have to think about like for context. Obviously, if you win the Europa League, you get into the Champions League next season through that. But if Bodo won the Europa League and got into the Champions League, and then Arsenal are going to Bodo next season, that's crazy, man. Bodo.
If we win the Europa League, that's our season saved. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the league position, bro. That's our season saved.
So
That's
Ange,
all. That's all these.
so you're saying Ange keeps his job if Spurs
I
win the
was
Europa
saying to
League?
someone. I was saying to someone at work today. I don't see who else you get in. I
Yeah.
understand that people have raised questions about the way he plays and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you sit and you watch some of the football, he can coach a win. But
Yeah.
some of the mistakes that these players are making, like in the league, unforget. Like can't coach. Like
they're not him. Yeah.
you can't coach a goalkeeper to have 2 howlers. You can't. Like,
Yeah.
some of these things are out of his control. I think he's dug himself a few holes with some of the things he says to the media and stuff. But I'm still very much behind him till the wheels fall off because
You're still in your mind. It's like Big Ange wins something in his second season. You feel like the Europa League.
It's not even that. It's not even that. But it's like I feel like it's been a shit season. Like obviously injuries and stuff have disrupted us, and you have that sort of thing to lean back on. But for the first time in a long time, because we've gone through Mourinho, we've gone through Nuno, we've gone through Conte, and it's felt like no one's really bought into a manager, and they haven't had that sense of togetherness.
Yeah.
But like it feels like they have this togetherness, and they want to play for the manager.
Yeah. Well,
and that's all you can ask
even
for.
Mourinho said the only club he's gone to, been to a lot of clubs, very successful manager. Mourinho said the only club he's ever managed where he's not felt like it was home was Spurs. Every club, Chelsea felt like it was home. Even Man United felt like it was home. He said he would never go to another Premier League club, but he went to another one. He said Man United even felt like even though things didn't maybe end too well, but like he felt like it was home. Spurs, he never felt like that.
I feel like that's a half reflection on him, but half reflection on the club as well. I don't think it's all to do with the club. The higher ups, I think Levy needs to give his head a wobble because it feels like the football club is very much run as a business, but that's a whole sort of another kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we're in a position now where I don't care what happens in the league. Focus on Europe, bro. This is the chance, because I was there in 2008 when we won that last trophy, and like I've been
the Carling Cup.
The Carling Cup. I've been to all of these finals, semi-finals. I've been to Wembley. I've been back on the train.
How old were you then? Because I was 11.
I was 8. I was 7.
That's so low.
I didn't even know what was going on, bro. I'm sitting here, and
this
is when I was first getting into football. Because before that, I went with my dad and stuff. Because he's very chill. He would let me do what I want. But he's always been like, he's going to be a Spurs fan. This is going to be our thing. And I think as I've got older, I've come to appreciate it because I don't. Like my dad works a lot. He's out for a lot of things. So this is our like connection. We go to football and stuff, and it's like our family thing because everyone in the family is Tottenham.
Yeah. Someone reminded me at work today. They were like, last time Arsenal won the league, you were 6. It's like it's crazy how long like you could follow a team for.
2001, yeah.
That's a long. Mate, no, that would have been. No, we last won a trophy in 2003.
No, mate, I would have been like 2 years old. That's crazy. I wasn't even like conscious.
Yeah, you were basically still just a big embryo, but like
you
basically are now. But yeah, no, generally speaking, it's crazy how long some people don't understand it, but those that do, like football fandom, it like stays with you for a while, and people are like, oh, why'd you get so pressed, and like you said earlier, why'd you let it affect your mood about a game? Like It's different. Like you fucking, it binds people together. It's a community. It's like Pokemon Go. When you try and explain to
Yeah,
people why you play Pokemon Go,
yeah.
it's a community. It's like it binds people together, like-minded people, people that have the same sort of interests. And in this case, the common denominator is they're all a Tottenham fan or they're all an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
It's
I think I think football is a thing that brings people together. Even if I get I get bantered a lot for being a Spurs fan, but I think I say to people like through everything, I'm Tottenham. I've never changed up. I've never gone. Oh, I'm giving up. I've I will be there no matter what.
You got to, man, because you don't want to be one of them supporters. It's like, right, you have to be there when your team's like at its lowest as well. Because when you can't just rock up again when you're there at its highest. It's like, no, you're a prick. It's like that's like your friend, right? Your good friend.
No, yeah.
When he needs you, you're not there for him. And then when he's up, money's up, everything's up. He's looking good, like look after himself, going on trips everywhere, and then you're trying to get back in his life and be like, hey, what are you saying, G? It was like, you're a prick. You weren't there when I needed you. I needed you to lend me a tenner, and now I'm making racks. What you're trying to... Nah, man, you have to be there, like, at the low points to truly appreciate the highs. And that's not just football. That's a lot of things. Like,
yeah, of course.
The good comes with the bad. Like, not everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows.
I cuss my dad out. I'm like, of all the teams you're going to pick Spurs, but like, I love them to bits. Like, it's that thing of Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die, or till it kills me. But it's like that meme of like, it's like when a girl says, "How do I know you're going to be loyal?" And you start showing her your Tottenham shirts, you're like, "Bro, I'm going to be here. I've got the I've been through the hard times."
Yeah,
that's and I think the good times will come.
Yeah.
And I know that.
For Arsenal, it's similar. It's like literally, I can never like. No one can ever disappoint me, or I can never truly I'm heartbroken the amount of times that fucking Arsenal have done me in. It's
you think of the things you think of the Arsenal lockdown banter era. I remember some of the shit that I think it's the same with both teams. Some of the periods that we've been through. It's absolutely brutal, but you love it. Do you know what I mean?
I think Arsenal why are we the most hated team? I know our fans can be, you know what I mean, but
Yeah, but your fans are something different, bro. That's
no, but I'm sorry. If Man United finished 17th or near there, they should never be allowed to forget about that. You lot is different because you lot have sort of been in Spurs fans. I just generally speaking, you don't give it the big one that often. You don't really have anything to give it the big one about, so you don't. If you did, it's different. Man United, for whatever reason, feel like because they're Man United and it's the name, it's the most famous football club in the world, maybe besides Real Madrid. They're still holding on to that. So their fans are all we're Man United. Listen, teams go to fucking Old Trafford and dab on you. They take the piss. Back in the day, you had Jesse Lingard going, and now you've got man going there and literally spinning you for 3-4 goals at your gap.
Man United, the Man United fall off is insane. I remember when I was first getting into football, I was Man United was that's a proper tough team. I remember I'd start to go and I'd be not annoyed, but I'd be it's when you play Man United, that's gonna be a tough game. We're probably gonna lose. I don't even think about it like that anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. The fall off, like I say, it needs to be studied. Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, whoever, someone needs to study it.
The second Sir Alex left, bro, that team fell apart.
Well, he's left fully now, as in he's not even part of the club anymore. I think he's
mental.
He's renounced his position at the club. So it's there's stuff going wrong.
I think from top to bottom, the club is just in the bin, bro.
Yeah.
You see, these people coming in and making cuts, and they're like, bro, you're paying these people £200,000 a week, and you won't buy lunch for the staff of the club. That's crazy.
That's some Weatherspoons business, man. Fucking not even giving their fucking staff furlough. At Man United, you're doing that,
it's crazy. Big Man United is crazy.
They made a lot of redundancies as well, didn't they?
It's mental, yeah. But I think to bring it back to the old Europa League, I'd like to think that we'd manage to navigate Bodo Glimt. I'm not taking it for granted because I understand it will be a tough game.
It'll be a competitive game, yeah.
You're in a semi-final. It's not going to be. You're in any semi-final. You're in a semi-final for a reason. It's not going to be an easy game. Yeah. But we should be there in Bilbao, and we're already looking at flights and stuff to go to the final.
That's mad. Now, when you got a semi on,
But like,
you got to lock in.
yeah, but like, I think that we're in a. It's a weird place because you look at the league. I'm so done with the league, but I'm so invested in the Europa League now because that will save our season, man.
Yeah. It's the same with
And I
us.
think,
If we win the
yeah, it's
Champions
a good.
League, I would take the Champions League over winning the Premier League because the only thing that, like, it's nothing to do with even Tottenham or Liverpool or anything. Like, the only thing that does my head in is the fact that when it comes to, like, right, who's the best club in London, debate's always like, all right, Arsenal up there, and it's always Chelsea always bring back the Champions League that they won like ages ago, and it's like we need to win a Champions League so Chelsea fans could really not sit with us because I hate Chelsea. I probably hate Chelsea the most. I hate them so much.
You need to win a Champions League more to
save the season,
prove,
of course.
It won't say the thing, but I think to prove that this whole Arteta
Trust the
given
process.
all these trust the process things to be a thing. But like, I think if you look at sort of your knockout game, where did you start in the knockout rounds? So let's start. Like, so I started a round of 16 with AZ. So why don't you start with?
So we finished third in the. Was it? Yeah, I think we finished third overall in the table. So that meant that we didn't have to play one of those stupid playoff games where Man City had to play Real Madrid. So we didn't have to play an extra game. So I think that was quite good for us as well.
Yeah, one less game is always good because there's so many games you have to play now, and I think there's so many players picking up injuries.
This is why
because they're just playing so much football. But like, yeah, so that's the same. We finished good enough in the Europa League. We didn't have to. I was calling it like the round of death because if you play them extra 2 games, it just kills you. So what? Like, who did you have after that? Was it Real Madrid?
No, it was. I think it was PSV, wasn't it? I think we had
Oh yeah, you had PSV, mate. You had PSV on ice. I'll let you take the floor, bro. Come on.
We had PSV, but the thing is, it was like PSV. Like we drew at home in the second leg, but obviously we battered them up away from home. So it was just like, right, unless the wheels really fall off. Like, I was seeing players I forgot we had. When I think I came back from training and watched it at the pub, and I was like, we drew 2-2. I'm like, every time I watch Arsenal, we don't win. I'm like, we won on the like overall aggregate, but I'm like,
it wasn't a performance that filled you with confidence.
No, but to be honest, we just did what we had to do. It was like we put like fucking 7 past them away from home in the Champions League. How often does that happen?
You knew what the business was. You knew what the business was, so you did the business. And
we did
sometimes in football, you have to play like that, especially when you still, because at the time you were still sort of contesting the league, weren't you? Like you had one eye on the league and stuff like that.
Yeah. We got bigger fish to fry, and
that old classic,
the old chestnut. But yeah, and then,
but like
that was fairly comfortable.
You put them on ice, like on reflection. Pretty easy game, and it should have been an easy game, really. You look at the season Arsenal having, the quality of the players they've got. PSV, not a bad team, but
right.
Arsenal levels above them. You should have buried them like you did.
PSV are not the same sort of team they once were. They've had legends over the years. You know, like I remember like some of the games I remember. The PSV were like UEFA Cup games against Spurs, like those sorts of like. Long time ago, like the Herrero Gomez. Like, those sorts of games. PSV have always been. I've always like.
They've always been about. They've always been a decent team, but not like a great team. If you know what I mean.
I've never thought like, you know what? I really, really want PSV. Like there are teams that I'd want instead of PSV. I'm like, don't fancy it because if they turn up and catch you cold, it's a long day to be Arsenal.
Yeah. It could be a banana skin, but you navigated it. You put them to bed. I sort of watched the highlights and I was like, fucking hell, you've just took like a team that like is of that Champions League caliber, who've qualified for the Champions League quite regularly. You just put them on ice. I was like, fucking hell. Like, there was just...
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think, if memory serves, I can't remember in the first leg if we had a striker. I don't think we did. I think we were just, I said the goals were being shared out amongst the team, like I said earlier, like, you know, midfielders.
It was like
Gabriel.
It's like they were doing training, bro.
I'm telling you, they were just doing the damage in the first leg, so it meant that we go to the Emirates and just defend it, which is what we did. No injuries, nothing stupid. And then obviously, speaking of the Emirates, first leg at the Emirates, obviously, big game. Real Madrid, they went through on, you know, it was quite controversial circumstances with the whole Julian Alvarez penalty, but honestly, I didn't want to like echo or sound like I was echoing what I've done in previous years, where it's like, oh, bring us Bayern. But I really wanted Real Madrid instead of Atletico because I think Atletico would have done us up with the way they play because they're very pragmatic, defensive, and I think we would have struggled to break that down
they're a horrible team.
Without a striker, we would not have broke them down.
Real Madrid are a good team, but I think I looked at that. I was like, "Fucking hell, you fancy chances of that?" Because like in years gone by, this is one of the weaker Real Madrid teams. Yeah. They have you have these stars like you have Bellingham, but like it's not the same team. Like it's not the same Real Madrid where like the Ronaldo Real Madrid. It's not the same.
Well, like when Toni Kroos retired, and you've got Bellingham, Vinny. Mbappe, it's not quite gelled with Mbappe's side, and it's not quite took off yet.
The system, I think they're still working on that system, and I think that's why PSG were happy to let him go.
Yeah, take the money.
You look at them. You take the money and look at them now. Well, we can get on to PSG, I think, because you've got them next. But like, I was like, that will be you've got a chance there because I think this is one of the weaker Real Madrid teams, and that's not taken away from the performance you put in. Obviously, we'll get onto that.
We can only play. We can only play what's in front of us.
You can only play what's in front of you. But like, you see the way that they turned up, and obviously I'm a Spurs fan, so fuck Arsenal. But like, I'm sitting there as a neutral watching it. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Them free kicks, like you.
Yeah.
They need to play Declan Rice in that position for England. They play him too far back.
The thing is, like. I remember when we signed him, and when I first watched him, it was at the Emirates. It was the Emirates Cup against Monaco. Got a flag in the background, but it's covering up. It's a half and half flag, which I'm usually against. But because Monaco's colours are quite similar to ours, but there's like remnants of pink. It doesn't look like a stupid half and half flag. Not like the one we saw in Milan, where it had the half into half AC. Mate, fuck that. I could never. But generally speaking, we were. I don't think we were fortunate. We played quite well. We took our chances because people were like, "Oh, you scored 2 free kicks, and then Moreno scored." It's like you have to play. You have to play well.
You have to take your chances. Like if you're not going to go to have the balls against Real Madrid to go, I'm going to curl one in. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and then to do it again.
It again.
Yeah, slow it down, run it back. I just dissed you. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck. But like, do
it better as well. Like that. Yeah. The second one was stanch, top bins.
Like the first, I don't know where I was for the first. Like I didn't watch all. I saw the highlights. Like people were like, "Oh, you need to see this free kick." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
I only saw the highlights because I think I.
Was like you had them on ice, really. I was like, but I think the thing is, in years gone by, if you have a 3-0 lead against Real Madrid and you're going to the Bernabeu, you don't feel confident, and you see all this talk beforehand, like we're going to shut the roof, it's going to be a remontada or whatever it was.
That all made me laugh. That was because they were doing everything. Because like the thing is, like 3 goals at home, solid performance. Camavinga got a fucking red card as well, the prick. Because I want to see him at Arsenal. That's the only reason I'm calling him a prick. But like, yeah. You could have a red shirt, but no, you got a red card instead. Hopefully he joins us next season because I'd take Camavinga in a heartbeat. It was a good performance.
How did you feel when you how did you feel when that sort of second leg kicked off? Were you confident you'd be able to see it through, or were you?
It was a very weird game because
were you nervous, like
a little, but like the thing is, I was nervous at one point in the game, but not at the start. Very nervous at one point in the game, but not at the start. And I'll get onto that in a sec. But I think I was confident because I'm like, right, I don't think they can play us off the park. I think for us to lose this, the wheels really need to come off. Like, we need to literally, like, buckle. Like, something, we need to really just crumble. So I don't think...
You're 3-0 up. Like,
yeah, so I'm like...
I'm going. But in my head, I was like, it would be funny to watch, but
it won't fucking funny.
You see... Like, you look at the individuals that Real Madrid have, you think of Bellingham, you think of Mbappe, like, if they have a night, you could be in for a long... I was like, you could be in for a long night if these people turn up.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, and you'll get onto it. Like, I'm watching them, like, you've just got these people locked up. They've got no idea what is...
Madrid was shit. Madrid was shit. Saliba had Mbappe, like, here. So, like, when it comes to France international duty, it's just going to be like, what the hell, man? Like, Saliba's going to take him with him, like, in his back pocket. Mbappe don't even need a plane ticket, because you can carry, like, certain baggage and whatnot. So, Mbappe's there. Saliba's got him locked up. right? We're not. I don't think we're playing particularly well, but they're playing awful. Like nothing's working, nothing's free flowing. Mbappe's frustrated, Vinny's frustrated. They're all frustrated with one another, right? Obviously, we get the penalty, and it's like, let's put this game to bed.
This was the point that I sort of thought, holy shit, when Saka that penalty.
Right. First of all, if you Panenka it, the whole point of Panenka it is to sit the keeper down, send him that way or that way, put it down the middle. Right? So your logic was you were going to Panenka it. You were going to try and sit him down, or you thought he was going to stay in the middle, so you were going to Panenka it to the side. When Courtois is a fucking man mountain, he could just go like this. Catch. Like, he tried to dink like probably the best goalie in the world at the minute. Like,
when that was like that, I was like, holy shit, they've just given them a in and win.
That's
like,
the turning point. That was the turning point.
That was Real Madrid's chance to crack on and win the game.
Their fucking penalty that they initially got awarded, that will never.
I tell you what, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That took them 5-6 minutes to figure that out. That is pathetic.
Yeah, it took me 5 seconds to realise, as non-biased as I could possibly be, and like the play was gone, right? Rice has not even gone through him or anything like that. It's sort of like Mbappe's ahead of him, but not ahead enough where it's like, right, this is a clear goal scoring opportunity. Like, he didn't fucking do anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and some of the penalties, and I've seen them in other games, knockout games, groups. Some of the penalties that these Champions League refs give away are stupid. Like, it's so dumb. You could get anything for a penalty in the Champions League. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, so I don't know, obviously that got rescinded, so I'm like, right, you know, that felt as good as scoring a goal. Them not getting that pen. Yeah. That was one of them. And I'm sure us missing the pen felt maybe similar for them, because it's like, listen, 4-0.
That's your winning in.
4-0, and it's like, yeah, you need 4 goals now in one game just to get on level terms. But yeah, then after that, you know, we sort of just we controlled the game. You know, we fucking, once we got a goal, you know, the floodgates open both ends, because we got a goal, right, and then fucking we just give away a goal not long after a rotter from Rye. It was very similar to the North London derby this time last year, where we were like in control for most of it, right? Nothing, there was no issue.
The Romero goal.
Yeah, we scored, and then it was like, what the fuck just happened there? And then all the momentum shifted, and Real Madrid, and at the time Tottenham, on top of us. Momentum shifted. It's like, fuck me, we've got a game now. Yeah, I'm like, Saka scores. Yeah, Saka scores. We give Vinny an early Christmas present, and then it's like, right, even then we're still in, you know, a good position. We're still due to go through, right? And then, yeah, obviously Martinelli finishes it off, and you know, that's probably, you know, confirmed that Arteta's not going to try and replace Martinelli or sell him. You know, Martinelli, I'll give him his flowers. He's played quite well in the past few games, and I feel like it's one of them. It's like, I need more of that during the season, not towards the back. It's good that he's doing it in the back end where it is mattering and counting, but not just in the back end where, fucking hell, like, you know that managers looking at, you know, team for next season and ambitions and everything, and you could be replaced, because I think we should cash in on Martinelli and Jesus, to be honest. But if Martinelli's playing well, keep him in the squad. Try and get someone else in, like a proper left winger. But yeah, played well enough. 2-1 in the end at the Bernabeu.
Well. Yeah.
If you told me we were going to get 2-1 at the Bernabeu at the start, I'm like, take it.
You'd bite your hand off, right?
Yeah. I'd take, like, even if it was like the first leg was at the Bernabeu and you told me we were going to win 2-1 and I didn't know how the leg at the Emirates was going to go, take a win at the Bernabeu. I'd have taken a point at the Bernabeu. Like, because I'm confident we can do stuff at home. Saying that, and then obviously we fucking draw against fucking, what's their face, Brentford, and then it's like, how can we go from, you know, and actually that was, sorry, I misspoke. So that was after the first leg, and then we drew against Brentford. But it was like, how can we go from the best night of our life at the Emirates, and then 3 games later to that? And then someone told me, someone was like, oh, you're asking for too much. And I'm like, we should be winning against everyone at home in the Premier League. Maybe Liverpool, Man City.
You just beat Real Madrid.
Maybe Liverpool, Man City, and big derby days like Tottenham and Chelsea. You know, the occasion changes things. But we should be winning 90% of our games at home. Brentford is definitely not one on the bingo card where it's like, right, we're going to lose against Brentford. You don't expect that to happen. We should be winning against Brentford, considering what we did a few days prior at the same ground with the same team against Real Madrid, who won it last year, didn't they?
Yeah,
and people forget that. So it's like, yeah, we've done what we had to do, and obviously PSG next, and that'll be an interesting one because neither team has won the Champions League. And then on the other side, you've got Inter Milan and Barcelona. Inter Milan haven't won it for 15 years. Barcelona haven't won it for 10 years. So it's not good because the past few seasons it's been a domination from
yeah.
if it ain't
Everyone that's
Bayern,
left is
if it
big
ain't
teams.
Bayern, if it ain't Bayern,
It's Real Madrid.
it's Real Madrid. If it ain't Real Madrid, it's Man City. Like Real Madrid and Bayern have dominated Europe, and then Man City have come into the fold as well. Like the trifecta there, they've dominated Europe for so long, and it's nice to see. It's even nice to see even in the Europa League two English teams there. You know, obviously Aston Villa were quite unfortunate not knocking PSG out because I would have loved an all English semi final. You know, and I think the fans would as well. Like fuck flying to Paris, like when you could just go right London and up to the Midlands and then back down again.
Yeah,
Like, you know, I might have even tried hard to fucking get tickets to Villa Park, like
yeah,
if it were actually happening. But yeah, you know, PSG that'll be interesting because obviously they knocked Liverpool out and a lot of people forget that. So they're not the same PSG that we beat in the group stages because we beat them quite comfortably. They'll definitely be up for it, and I'm hoping that we will be as well. So it'll be a close match, I think. I back us, but you know, if they win, it's like, you know, it's not one of them where it's like we're not expected to win. I wouldn't even say we're the favourites. I'd say like I'd say probably on form, PSG are the slight favourites, but yeah, maybe that's just me trying to
yeah.
not big
I
it up
think
too
PSG
much.
they look a much more complete team than Real Madrid. It'll be a completely different game because I think you watch what PSG have done and the team they've built, and I think Luis Enrique has spent a lot of time
He's
from
a
where they sort of picked up the mess where Mbappe left and that,
he's a
and they
prop
built this team.
he's a good manager, Enrique.
He's a
He's
good man,
proper
yeah.
gaffer,
He
yeah.
gets he gets results out of his players. Like Liverpool went 1-0 up and they in the leg, and you still fancy PSG to win
Yeah.
because they have the players, they have the manager to do it, and I think that's the big thing. Like he is, I've read a lot. Like I was reading on BBC Sports about sort of the story of Enrique and like how his daughters like died and stuff like that, and like
Shit.
all the stuff he's had to carry with that, and how he's carried on being one of like the top managers. And I think he's transformed the PSG team from that team that was like Mbappe and friends to a team that is still
Actually,
lots
yeah.
of
You're not playing just
lot,
through one
lot
player or for one player. Because Mbappe was like, was he not? He was like, not almost bigger than the club. Like, he had say in like some of like
yeah,
the decisions in the club. That's crazy. Can you imagine like
it's mental.
Harry
But
Kane,
to
like
get
when he
rid of
was at
yeah,
Spurs, just like saying who he wants in and out, like in terms of transfers. I feel like he did maybe at some point. Like,
but
imagine
to,
like
but
Madison went there and
yeah,
then Kane just left. That was so deep.
but to get rid of that and have this team where you still have all these young players that are coming through, and the you buy that Kush
Oh, he's decent, him.
yeah, like they have a team now that looks fucking solid, bro.
Yeah, that's like
I think
you go through phases of having world class players, but then eventually, like for a lot of players, Real Madrid / Barcelona are the A side. That's when you know you've not that you know you've made your career. That's the wrong phrase. You know, like it's like you're a Galactico if you're at Madrid, like you know, and you're not many players can say that. Not every player can say that. It's like not saying PSG or any of previous clubs, Monaco, are no good. You know, they're still professional clubs and very, you know, highly established, highly esteemed French clubs, but like the name Real Madrid, it just, you know, everyone knows it. It's kind of similar to how Man United once were. Everyone knows Manchester United. Now we know them as being the banter club, but Real Madrid are just like famous, like beyond belief. Like I refuse to believe.
yeah,
I refuse to believe that Man United think they're a bigger club than Real Madrid. Like it just, I can't fathom it. I mean, even though Real Madrid
it's
won those
crazy.
first few Champions Leagues when it was like I don't know, like you're playing against like Sunday League teams, like you know they stat pad the Champions League a bit, but yeah, same with Brazil
Yeah, it's
really in the
mental.
World
Yeah,
Cup. But generally
I think it's
speaking, go on.
on the whole, it's like for a lot of these English teams now, it's like the balance of the season rests on Europe now.
Yeah, there are like 8 teams that could get in Europe, I swear, because obviously Newcastle have won Carabao Cup, they get a
Oh
place,
yeah,
and then Liverpool were runners up, but they're qualifying for the Champions League through the league anyway. And then you've got Chelsea who could still win the Conference League, and then Arsenal could win the Champions League and qualify for the Champions League through the league, and then you've still got Forest and Newcastle that could qualify for the Champions League, which means that Newcastle's Europa spot, like, it just gets fucking messy. Like, you could honestly, the Europe could be, I personally, my predictions at this point in the season are Liverpool point away from winning the league. I don't see them losing all their games, and even if they did, I don't see us winning all our games. So, like, Liverpool could lose all their games. They could, like I said, they could play Salah's children. Fucking James, like, I know James Milner ain't there, but they could play, like, fucking, like, James Milner's grandkids. Like, they could get fucking Lallana, but they could do whatever. But fucking, I don't see us winning all our games. So, Liverpool, congratulations. I said at Christmas I thought they would win it. They're winning it. All right, so it'll be Liverpool, Arsenal. Third,
City. They got nothing else, but City always just come up clutch at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean?
I think City will finish third and Forest will finish fourth, and then you have to the FA Cup as well. City and Forest are still in that. Villa are still in that. Even Palace are in the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
A lot to play for. There's a lot to play for, bro.
City could win.
Like, from a neutral perspective, there's a lot of big games still to watch. Obviously, like, it's not the same as watching it as that's your club, but like from a neutral perspective, there's a lot to watch, bro. It's going to be good.
Man City are playing Forest at the same time. Liverpool are playing what's their face? Tottenham. Tottenham, you got this weekend. So Liverpool could obviously.
We got Liverpool on Sunday. Yeah.
So Liverpool
win the league on Sunday.
Yeah. So like they're playing at the same time though. So that's crazy. Like you've still got like, you know, a lot of teams that are up there in the league going on deeper runs in like domestic cups, and you know the teams maybe not having the league season they could have hoped for. You know, they could be. Well, for us, we could be champions of Europe. I don't know what it technically counts as if you win the Europa League. Like, I don't know, like champions of like.
You're still European champions, I think. Like, you still win it, bro. We'll be there.
Champions of like Eastern Europe, because I swear you just pay like all farmers in that. Like
the best part of this is like the next time we speak. Obviously, Josh is still in Japan. We'll be there again. It will be the day after the first leg, so I feel like we'll have more to talk about.
Listen, we'll be a lot. We'll be talking with smiles on our faces, or
tears.
Yeah,
we'll be there no matter what. But I feel like that brings. Is this a good time for us to?
Yeah, we can close it out. But yeah, predictions in general. I think Barcelona will win the Champions League. Looking at that side of the draw, I think we'll make the final. I think the occasion might just be a bit too much for us, and it's not to say if we
you'll be close, and like, even if like on the surface, if you've beat Real Madrid both legs, you'd take that. Like I know people banter this phase 27 Arteta or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're one striker off greatness, bro, and that's coming from me. I'm a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
You're one striker off greatness. If you had a big man to sort you out up top,
some of the players
what's stopping you?
Some of the players might freeze up as well because the finals at the Allianz Arena, and some of them might have PTSD from when we got bopped over the years by Bayern. So, I mean, some of those players have moved on now, but I think Arteta was there as a player, so maybe yeah, so he's probably the only one. But yeah, guys, we're gonna round it up. 2 hours, time flies when you're having fun. Joe, appreciate you subbing in for Joshua.
We're doing next week as well, yeah?
Maybe, but the time might have to change because I'm going to see the Thunderbolts at 8:15 on the Friday. I'm very excited for that. I've not been to the cinema for a while, and to be honest, the last Marvel film was the Captain America one, and it was kind of disappointing. We
can figure it out. Look, we'll figure it out.
We'll work something out.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
With us, it's different. We'll just have to see like when we're working. Whereas like, you know, Josh, that just doesn't work. So it's like it's easy for him to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I will be there. We could run it a bit. We'll figure it out. Let's enjoy the week. Enjoy the weekend is what I'm saying.
Easy.
Enjoy the week.
Easy.
Enjoy the Entei raid. Enjoy the Entei raids.
Goodness gracious, yeah, that'd be fun. Stuff for a lot. But yeah, guys, appreciate you all. Those of you watching live, twitch.tv/ThomasYoung1997. Appreciate some of you that have been here for 2 hours.
Shout out you, man.
Dodie, I'm looking at you. And yeah, those of you listening back on Apple Music Podcasts, Spotify, all of that good shit, you know, we appreciate you just as much.
Yeah, I know I'm not Josh, but thanks for listening to us ramble for 2 hours. It's been fun.
wouldn't want to do anything else on my Friday evening, to be fair. But guys,
We're cooking.
guys, we're gonna cut
Are
it
we
here.
are we reading the usual?
Yeah. Cool. Mate, I've already got it typed out in the chat. I've seen all the Donnies
I
online.
fucked it.
I've seen all
There
the
you go.
Donnies. Oh, he's gone too soon. That's what she said.
No,
But
I've got
yeah.
it ready, guys. Get it ready.
Right,
Get it ready.
right,
Get you copy pastas ready.
We'll get the train ready, so we're ready to run it. Pause. But yeah, guys, we'll be back next week. Maybe different time. Myself, Thomas. Himself, Joseph. Joshua's on hiatus in Japan.
You didn't actually ask me what I was drinking because I bought them so few drinks that he was
Oh,
drinking
shit.
in his memory. He's here in spirit with us. Here he is.
Fucking hell. I see you did the spirit.
He's in spirit with us, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Always.
Have a lovely weekend. I'll speak to you, bro.
Yeah, it shall be.
Guys, thanks for listening.
It should be a decent weekend. If Liverpool win the league, I might just KMS. But yeah, guys, drop that copy pasta in Kitty's chat. Drop her a follow if you're not already following her.
You know she loves it. Follows, copy pastas, the lot.
No, mate. I was wondering where that was going. You know she loves it. Fucking hell, mate. I didn't know where that was going.
Behave yourself.
Behave. Naughty boys. Right. Ilian coming in late as always. But guys, we'll see you guys next week.